Well, just recently my daughter has started driving, and I was wondering if you had any sort of tips regarding her going through drive-through ATMs or maybe fast food restaurants, any sort of drive-through where your car is parked.
Oh, sure.
You can't really, you're sort of trapped in.
Yeah, that's a really good question because teenagers love to go through drive-thrus. And
not only teenagers, but certain hosts of Hottie Help love to go through drive-thrus.
Who could that be? Who loves to go through drive-thrus in the middle of the night? That's actually a really good question, and that brings up an interesting subject, which is, going through drive-thrus in the middle of the night. The first thing I would say is if you have the midnight munchies, and that's when a lot of people get in their car to go, through Taco Bell or whatever, I would think twice about it. If you're a woman by yourself, I would bypass the drive-thru. Eat something in your house. Eat, granola and yogurts, and it's a lot healthier for you anyways, because you want to avoid the drive-thru at night. And
a lot of the places are actually open. They'll have one person in there, so you can go in. In Los Angeles, a big metropolitan area.
Sure, they do. I've done it. I've had to do it for work, and I think that it is dangerous. You have to be aware. And also look for drive-thrus. This is ATM drive-thrus, and this is food drive-thrus that don't have a lot of shrubbery or brushes on, shrubbery and bushes on the side where you're actually driving and waiting. And then when you're waiting, because you have to roll the window down to order, roll the window back up. When you're waiting, don't sit there and wait with the window rolled down and with the door unlocked. And especially if it's an ATM, I wouldn't dawdle. Once again, dawdling is a big thing. When you pass through the ATM, get your money. Don't stop with the window down and to count your cash. You need to just hurry up, get your key, get your cash, and you need to move on. You don't need to sit there and wait. And also the same with food drive-thrus. If you get your food and you're going through the drive-thru, don't stop and say, oh, wait a minute, I think I'll just sit in the parking lot with my windows rolled down because it's hot and the door unlocked and I'm going to eat. If you're going through the drive-thru, get your food and go. If not, go inside and order and sit and eat in there. But make your decision. Don't sit there and just wait. Also, I know this sounds kind of strange, but watch for weirdos. You need to watch for weirdos and people that they're out there and they're in the parking lot. And if you have somebody that's loitering around in the parking lot, looks strange, why are they there? Yeah. Why are they loitering at 11 o'clock at night in Taco Bell? So if you see strange people there, and you should tell your daughter this, just bypass it altogether. You don't have to go there. You can just go home to eat.
Yeah, you could have a sandwich at home. Thank you, caller. We lost our caller. Thank you, caller, as we eject you into the netherworld. You know what? I had a question. I'm very excited. Let's see if you guys can get this.
Okay.
Once I had bologna. Do you know what that is?
Is it a song or something?
No, it's B1. Once I had bologna.
I had bologna.
See the parking
once
thing.
I had that's good. That's very good.
You tied it into fast food.
It took me 20 minutes to come up with that.
you tied word association.
The whole time we're on the show, I'm going B, and I finally came up with that.
Bologna has a first name.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's B1.
I want to say one thing. I was just thinking about, and this sounds so obvious, I suppose, but don't, if someone's hitchhiking, I know this, everybody knows this, don't pick up some strange person. When you're by yourself, whether you're by yourself or with someone else, don't pick up strange people. And everyone has heard this from their mother. But, and don't assume that you know what a predator looks like.
Oh, absolutely.
Because most innocent-looking person could be the one.
I had this friend. I had this friend who had a bad guy after her for a long time, and we finally got to see the picture of the bad guy, and he was really good looking. Like you think the bad guy's going to look like
Ted Bundy, right?
Yeah, he was like
exactly.
I was like, he's better looking than me. That's not fair.
But that's the thing that I find so interesting, because as young women, as children, as young girls, we're taught that predators look scary, or predators are people that look different than us. And I think that's one thing that if I could tell all young girls out there, is a predator could be the neighbor. The predator could be somebody's
He could look
uncle.
like Ryan Seacrest.
He could. He could look like
I'm not saying Ryan Seacrest is a predator. But
just Ryan's twin.
Right, Ryan's evil twin. But he could look exactly like somebody that you know in your own neighborhood, or it could be a friend of the family. You really have to watch, because I think one thing that predators do that is so chameleonic is that they make themselves seem normal and comfortable and have your best concern in mind, because that way they can gain your trust. And I think that's really important for young people to know. It's not the bad guy that's like the heebie-jeebie guy that you see in the movies and in Halloween and Jason and all those slasher films. That's not the bad guy. It is going to be somebody who is very charismatic, just like the good example that you gave, which was Ted Bundy, who was a lawyer, who had a lot of friends, who was active in his community. John Wayne Gacy, who was a clown, who went to children's parties and was loved by so many people and was an artist. These are the people that you have to watch out for.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to tip the scale so far that you're terrified of every clown, unless you hate clowning like I do.
Right.
But I mean, you don't want to go that far. Mimes, though, they are dangerous. Mimes are very dangerous. Watch out for the mimes.
Well, you guys, believe it or not, this has been so fast because I think we're almost out of time. So, unbelievable. I want to thank Enya so much for coming here today.
Yeah, thank you, Enya.
Yes. And what is your website address one more time?
www.enyaflack.com.
Oh, and do you have anything coming up?
I do. Thank you for asking, Doug. I have an episode of Days of Our Lives coming up. I am playing a new character. Her name is Cynthia Savage, and the first episode is on October 29th. Please watch. And
I had a question about soap operas.
Oh, okay.
Did they ever hire anyone who's slightly unattractive? I mean, again, we're sitting here with the beautiful Enya. I've never seen anyone unattractive on a soap opera. It's just unbelievable.
It's Fantasyland.
Is it? Okay.
It's Fantasyland, and that's what it is.
That's why we love it, I guess. But please tune in, and if you like the character, write in. Go to NBC.com/Days of Our Lives and tell them you love Cynthia, and maybe they'll bring me back.
And what's her last name again?
That.
Cynthia Savage.
I will do this after the 29th. I'm going to write in and pretend like I don't know you, and I will say you're the bomb, because you are the bomb anyways. No problem. And I'd also like to remind everybody that my book is coming out next year, The Hottie Handbook, A Girl's Guide to Safety. It's going to be available on BarnesandNoble.com and Amazon.com. And you can also see me at CandaceKita.com and at MySpace/TheRealCandaceKita. And until next time, you guys remember to be sexy, be smart, be safe.
Candace.
Yes.
What about our guest next week?
Oh, thank you so much for reminding me. Our guest next week, you guys have got to tune in, is a friend of both Enya and mine. She's another Deal or No Deal girl. We've known her for years. She's absolutely wonderful, Australian, Lisa Gleave, and she's going to be here next week.
She can tell us about Australian safety.
Maybe. She can tell us all about safety in Australia.
Just don't go to the outback.
Or don't play with dingoes.
Just like the dingoes.
Filthy.
Or don't go swimming
Don't you tell me what to do with my dingo.
Don't go swimming with the sharks.
A dingo ain't my baby.
You can't swim with the sharks. But until next time, thank you so much.
Whoa.
Oh, wait.
Slow down, woman.
Okay.
Slow down.
We're running out of time. We've got 30 seconds.
What's your disclaimer that you always have to do?
You know what? My lawyer has given me a disclaimer that I am supposed to say every single time, and I cannot find it, so I'm just going to have to say it off the top of my head, and that is all situations are different, and what we're expressing today is exactly that. There's just opinions. So if a woman is facing a threatening situation, she needs to seek professional guidance for her situation.
Exactly, and all of my opinions, as I always say, are indeed from the mouth of God. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Hottie Help with Candace Kita, and again, the spectacular Enya Flack.
And we will see you next time on Hottie Help.
All right, take care, guys.
You found the #1 internet site for irreverent, cool, and entertaining talk programming. It's LA Talk Radio. We say what we want.